Hi everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. We've got two new partnerships for Palantir's FedStart SaaS offering, which allows companies to be FedRAMP and IL compliant much easier within months instead of years. But first, really quick, Palantir continues to publicly show their support for Israel and disclosing that their board of directors are gathering in Tel Aviv out in Israel next week for its first meeting of the new year. So if you're familiar with Palantir, then this isn't a surprise or anything, but feel free to go on X and look at the comments on both sides, of course. Always great to see the different perspectives, and technically everyone has the right to be misinformed and spew it, of course, but I'm not perfect either myself. However, if you're invested in the company and own stock, then please don't be surprised at this stance at this point. There's really no excuse if you've done your due diligence, but in regards to affecting the company or stock, it really is non-news in my opinion. Now, the juicy partnerships for FedStart. So shout out to Lord Grimm once again here, always great, monitoring the FedStart website here where it scrolls through different partners on the page and pointed out LILT and Riskly have been added. So he points out in comparison to his post back from September 27th of last year, and looking briefly at each of these companies, remember, FedStart is to help ramp up qualifying for these winning government contracts that require FedRAMP and or IL security certifications. So LILT first is a company that appears to be trying to use AI to be the best translator for all content here across the board and automating that. Now, importantly, this is to deliver this at scale, of course, especially for customers who are like the US government or the DoD, trying to deliver multilingual customer experiences throughout a whole organization. So it's not really a big leap in logic in for some sort of place for this kind of solution. Now, if they're the best for this, that is yet to be seen, of course, and we'll have to see if that plays out. But for some context on their financial standing, at least, they raised around $55 million back in mid-2022, and that's to scale up their research and development or R&D efforts, as well as engineering teams. And then for Riskly, they appear to be in the cybersecurity and data privacy space where they focus on automating and sustaining compliance. Now, I've worked on the audit side actually of healthcare and the claims, and this always feels to be an endless pursuit of automation, especially when there is a regulatory change happening all the time, or even worse, when there is ambiguity that really isn't clear black and white on what is wrong, meaning it's not a simple Boolean or true/false kind of flag, but either way, it's great to see Palantir expanding their footprint with more partnerships for their FedStart. Now, I believe this is their kind of version, at least in the US government side of things, closest to resembling a venture capital arm for the company. Now, it's not necessarily getting equity out of this in these companies, but rather since this is a SaaS offering, as any of these companies become successful possibly, or maybe none of them do, but maybe one could proliferate through the government and if valuable enough to eventually getting massive contracts, then it seems Palantir would be getting a piece of the pie there too, since their service would require the companies to compensate them for the increased volume of processing and needing to continue to hold their security certifications unless they want to go through the lengthy, expensive, and administratively burdensome process for themselves. But thanks for watching the first Palantir Daily of 2024, and I'll see you in the next video.